and may now speak to any other organizer.
Good morning to everyone. We're going to start today's session. So first I would like to recap what we have seen in previous session. In previous session, so am I audible to everyone? Okay, thank you. So in the previous session, we started with SQL. SQL is a standard language for accessing and manipulating databases. SQL is an ANSI, American National Standard Institute standard. What SQL can do? It can execute queries against database. SQL can insert data. It can update records. You can create a new tables in database. You can create stored procedures in database. You can create views in database. SQL can set permissions on tables, procedures, and views. So this is what the usage of SQL. Now what is an RDBMS? RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. RDBMS is the basis for SQL. All the databases such as MS SQL, Server, IBM DB2, Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft Access, all these databases, the data is stored in the database objects. The main object is a table. A table is a collection of related data entries which consists of rows and columns. So I was giving an introduction to SQL. Then we see a simple statement like when you do select star from customer. So what does the select statement? The select statement is used to select data from the database. The result is stored in a result table called result set. So after this we see what is the usage of distinct. A select distinct statement is used to return only distinct values. And then we see where clause. Where clause is used to extract only those records that fulfill a specified criteria. For example, select star from KNA1 where land1 is equal to D, Germany. So there we can use where clause. We have seen AND and OR operators. The AND and OR operators are used to filter records based on more than one condition. We have seen an example, select star from customers where country is equal to Germany and city is equal to Berlin. And then once we complete this, we have seen how to use order by. Order by is a keyword used to sort the result set. So you can sort, for example, select star from Kenya1, order by country. You can order by country. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to arrange in an order to sort the result. Next, we also see insert into. So what is insert into statement? The insert into statement is used to insert new records in a table. You can insert new records. So you can create a table, right click on table, generate, insert entries in the table. We see the option. And then update statement. So we haven't seen the update statement. We just finished until the insert statement. So what is the usage of update statement? What is the usage of update statement? Update statement is used to update records in a table. So what would be the syntax? Update table name, set column 1 is equal to value, column 2 is equal to value 2, where sum underscore column is equal to some values. For example, let me give you an example. Update customers, update customers, set contact name is equal to Naga, city is equal to Delhi, where this is where contact name is equal to Nagarjuna. So So we're trying to update the contact name from Naga with contact name to Nagarjuna. So basically, to update values in the database, we can use update statement. Next, delete. The delete statement is used to delete records in the table. So the syntax would be delete from table name, where some columns is equal to some value. An example would be delete from customer, where customer is equal to Naga and customer is equal to John. So delete, you're deleting where customer is equal to Naga and customer is equal to John. Delete statement. So you can delete records from the table. Insert, update, delete. All these are basic operations inside the SQL. Next, like statement. So what is like? The like operator is used in a where clause to search for a specified pattern in a column. Like operator is used in a where clause to search for a specified pattern in a column. So what would be the syntax? Select column names from table name where column name like pattern. An example would be select star from customer where region like so what is basically doing is this statement selects all the customers where region is starting with S. So the percentage sign is used to define wildcards, missing letters. This percentage is used to define wildcards, missing letters, both before and after the pattern. For example, instead of S you can give where region is equal to BA. Just to give a wildcard you can give percentage. Next, in operator. In. The in operator allows you to specify multiple values in a where clause. It allows to specify multiple values in a where clause. The syntax would be select column names from table name where column name in value 1 comma value 2. An example would be select star, very simple, from customer, where city or where region in where region in Hyderabad, comma Telangana. So in the following statement, it selects all the customers where a city of Hyderabad or in Telangana. Next, between operator. So what does the between operator do? Between operator is used to select values within a range. It is used to select values within the range. The syntax would be select column names from column name where column name between value 1 and value 2. Select column names from table name where column names between value 1 and value 2. An example would be select star from materials where net value of the sales document is between 1000 and 2000. So what does the between statement do here is, this statement selects all the materials where the net value is between 1000 and 2000. You also have not between. So what is not between operator? Not between operator displays products or materials that are outside the range. So when you say not between, not between and 10 and 20. Now how does between operator within? You can use within. So when you use within, it selects all the products with a price between 1000 and 2000, but products with the category, for example, like material group 1, comma K or C should not be displayed. For example, select star from material where NETWR price is between 1000 and 2000 and not in material group, not in material group, not in material group, so is everyone able to hear me? Or is this some disturbance? Okay, some participant just returned me. Okay, so where are we here? I think we're discussing about in. Okay, so select star from where MATNR, when NETWR is between 1000 and 2000 and not material group, and not in material group in AA, comma BB, comma CC. To next, so these are all the different operators. Next we'll move on to the basics of joins in SQL. So SQL Join Clause is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a common field between them. An SQL Join Clause is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a common field between them. For example, so the most common type of a join is an SQL inner join or a simple join. Inner join returns all rows from multiple tables where join condition is always met. There are different types of joins. So inner join returns all rows when there is at least one match in both the tables. Inner join returns all rows where there is at least one match in both tables. Left outer join returns all rows from the left table and the matched rows from the right table. Right outer join returns all rows from the right table and matched rows from the left table. Full outer join returns all rows when there is a match in one of the tables. And there is match within one of the tables. So we have seen various examples using inner join, left outer join. A right outer join is very rarely used, and you've seen a full join, full outer join. We have seen what is a text join, what is a referential join, and the other important operator is union operator. So you can use a new union operator to combine results of two or more select statements. This we have seen in a calculation view. Union operator is used to combine results of two or more select statements. So what is the difference between a union and a union all? This is important. So what is the difference between union and union all? A union selects only distinct values. Union selects only distinct values. Whereas union all will also select duplicate values. So when there are duplicate values, it will also select those duplicate values. So in a calculation view, when you do union, it does union all. It also selects duplicate values. Now next, you can create a statement using create table statement. Create table. A create table statement is used to create a table in database. Tables are organized in rows and columns, and each table must have a name. So you can give create table name, create a table where table name. So this is all not necessary, but because we already have a GUI to create a table, right click and create a table. This is when you want to use an SQL, you can use this. Column 1, column 1. So you have to give the data type and size. Column 2, data type, size. Column 3, data type and size, and so on. Close brackets. So here, column 1 parameters specify the names of the columns of a table. They basically give the names of the columns of a table. Data underscore type parameters specify what type of data column can hold, whether varchar, integer, decimal, date column. What is the type of the data type you want to hold? The size parameter specify the maximum length of a column of a table. So you can create a simple table like create table, KNA1, where KUNNR nchar nvarchar. Or let us take this as where customer ID is equal to integer, where name of the customer where name of the customer varchar 255, address varchar 255, city varchar 255, so this is a simple table that you can create. But you don't have to know this because we have GUI, but just to understand, we're creating this. The next, what is a primary key? Primary key uniquely identifies each record in a database table. Primary keys must contain unique values. So you can make any key in a table as a primary key. So you can give customer ID, not null, primary key. It does not contain nulls. Cannot contain nulls. Give it as a primary key. So what's a primary key? Which contains only unique values. And primary key cannot contain null values. Each table must have at least one primary key. Each table must have at least one primary key. SQL foreign key. What is a foreign key? A foreign key in one table points to a primary key in another table. A foreign key in one table points to a primary key in another table. So we've seen a lot of examples. Nothing but key attribute in the master data table to the foreign key of the fact table. Next, index. Index is also a basic concept. Create index statement is used to create indexes in tables, but in HANA we don't use indexes. Indexes are allowed the database application to find data fast without reading the whole table. Without reading the whole table, we can find the indexes fast using the index statement. An index can be created in a table to find data more quickly. The business cannot see indexes. Business users cannot see indexes. It's just to speed up the search and the queries. It is speed up to do a search on the queries. Alter table. Alter table statement is used to add, delete, modify columns in an existing table. Views. A view is a virtual table. A view contains rows and columns, just like a table. The fields in a view are fields from one or more tables in the database. So views are only the metadata. It's only the metadata that does not contain data. Now coming to SQL data types. A data type defines what kind of value a column can contain. For example, character, it stores character string. Varchar, it stores character string. Binary, binary strings. Integer, integer values with no decimal. Decimal, extract numerical and precision scale. precision scale like decimal 10, 15, 2. Real, approximate numerical value. Date, date can store year, month, day, time. Time can store hour, minutes, seconds. Timestamp, store year. Stores year, month, day, hours, minutes, and seconds. SQL functions. So these are all just basic fundamentals, but we don't use any of, we use some of them. So all these are basics of the SQL. SQL functions. In SQL functions you have, SQL has many built-in functions for performing calculations on data. For example, you have average. Average returns the average value. Count returns the number of rows. First returns the first value. Last returns the last value. Maximum returns the largest value. Minimum returns the smallest value. Sum returns the sum. So usually in HANA, the aggregation type is sum. So sum is returns the sum of a value. Max returns the largest value. So where do you see all these functions in HANA? So data types can be seen in table. Views you can see alter table, indexes. So these are some of the questions will come from the certification. So why I'm discussing this is some of the concepts will come in the certification. So when you see here aggregation type, you have sum. So when you have sum, returns the sum. Minimum returns the smallest value. Maximum returns the largest value. Last, so last is not supported. Last value, first value, count. Returns the number of rows in the, when you have reduced the number of rows in the table or a view. Average returns the average value. And when you create a table, so here you have different data types. So these are nothing but data type. So all these are different data types. Like you can have text data type, varchar, blob for binary large objects that holds up to 65535 bytes of data. Text holds the strings with a maximum value. Char holds a fixed length string. The fixed size specified in parentheses can store up to 255 chars. Varchar holds the variable string. The maximum size specified in parentheses can store up to 255 chars. So you have geospatial analysis. So these are the special data types for geospatial analysis. Begin, float, double, decimal, date, date time, timestamp, time year, char, varchar. So for more information on this, you can look to the PDF. So in each of the data type, you can look to a PDF called HA150. HA150 is the book to learn more about SQL. From the HANA perspective, you can see these basic concepts of create table, data types, views, functions. Also, you have something called scalar functions. A scalar functions So scalar functions extract characteristics from text field. Formats how a field is to be displayed. Average functions. Average function returns the average value from a numerical value. So you also have HANA can support average in SP12. In SP11 also it support. Average functions return the average value. So for example, select the average price from the products. So to give the average price. Next, group by. What is group by? Group by statement is used in a conjunction with the aggregate functions to group the result by one or more columns. To group the result with one or more columns, we use group by statement. So I prepared one document for syntax for various functions that we're going to use in SQL. I prepared a document, syntax document. So I'll pass on the syntax document to you. So from there you can look for each syntax and create your own examples. Also, please refer to HA 150 for more information. Now let us see what is SQL script in HANA. So what is SQL script? A set of SQL statements for HANA database which allows developers to pass complex logic into database is called as SQL script. Again, I can repeat. A set of SQL statements for HANA database which allows developers to pass complex logic into the database, is called as SQL Script. SQL Script is known for the collection of SQL extensions. These extensions are data extensions, function extensions, and procedure extensions. SQL Script supports stored procedures, stored functions, and procedures. The main advantage of SQL Script is it allows us to push complex parts of the application logic to the database. The main benefit of using SQL Script is allow the execution of complex calculations. All the complex calculations it can push down to HANA database. Using SQL Script in a single query enables the functions to return multiple values. So where can you create SQL Script in HANA? Inside a calculation view. In a calculation view, you can create SQL Script. These are known as scripted calculation views. So why should we use SQL Script in a calculation view? Now these are used to achieve performance optimization in HANA by executing scripts at database layer. So what is the advantage? The first advantage is it eliminates the need to transfer large amount of data. Large amount of data from DB to application layer. It limits to transfer large amount of data from database to application layer. Second one, large amount of data from DB to application layer. It eliminates that need. Next, calculations are executed at database layer to get very good performance of HANA database, like column orientation, parallel processing. You can use the capabilities of columnar database and parallel processing. So SQL scripts can be used inside the calculation view. So let me show you where we can use SQL script inside the calculation view. Let us log into HANA. So all these things we discuss is for this object. All the discussion we have done until now is to show you a calculation view. We just see some basic fundamentals until now. So in a calculation view, you see here you have calculation view type graphical. So if you click on this, you have SQL script. So in tomorrow's session, we're going to see how to create calculation views of type scripted views. So we'll see around 6 to 7 examples on how to use C functions inside a calculation view. Any questions, please ask me. You get around 5 to 6 questions in the certification, mainly based on tomorrow's discussion, which is C functions. So C functions is the main topic that you get in the questions from the certification. Tomorrow we will see, one is we can see SQL script, and once we complete that we can start HANA administration. So HANA admin, we can see the topics of architecture. Once we complete architecture, then we move on to installation of SAP HANA. Once we complete installation, then quickly we move on to certification questions. So for next 4 days or 5 days, 3 to 4 days, we can discuss certification questions. All the questions from all these 2 months what we are learning, We can discuss around 130 to 140 questions. So all the topics will be covered. So it is like a recap. So this 2 months learning, we can recap in the certification. So immediately you can write the exam after this. 100% you can pass. You can get more than 80%. Once you write, after going through each of the question, you can prepare resumes and also attend for interview. Just go through all the classes once again from first. Go through the questions once again. Take some time. Please do all the hands-on. You can immediately write. Please don't delay. If you delay, the retention will be more. You may have the retention, so immediately you can write. Once you clear off the certification, you can prepare resume. I mean, for participants who are outside India, you can market yourself. Anyone who wants to talk to me in this regard, please call me. We can discuss on this. Also, please go through the HANA Live data models. I given some data models for HANA Live. Also, you can prepare from the help.recipe.com. We discuss about the documentation for HANA Live. Just take some 10 to 15 data models. Tell them I worked on these models. I have done an enhancement. Prepare some use cases, and you can explain in the interview all those related stuff. Okay, then tomorrow we can start SQL script and HANA admin topic and quickly move on to certification questions. Thank you everyone. I'll see you tomorrow same time. Good morning and good night to everyone. Thank you.